Okay, okay, welcome everyone. We're doing the Halacha series Halachot of Birkat Hamazon. I'm going to take an open question from Joe.
So, can we eat, if I have a kazait, which is a kazait, but I don't have a meal? So, can I have a meal on a kazait with the intention of not having a meal, but obviously say Birkat Hamazon after? Must I have a meal after the kazait?
Can you give me an example? You just want to have a slice?
Yeah, I'm not that hungry. I want a slice. Maybe I'll put a piece of avocado on top.
Okay, so that's fine. Why is that good? If it's
a
whole slice,
must we have a meal? Must the hamotzi be followed by?
That's enough. That's the Rabbanan. That is the Gemara. You have a slice of bread.
Full, but you're not full from it.
So it's not. So very good. So there's not a chiyuv d'oraita. It's not a biblical obligation, but it is a rabbinical obligation.
To be full.
To make Birkat Hamazon even when you're not full, even only on one slice or even only on half a slice. If it's already 30 grams, that's already chiyuv.
But you did say the savata.
So according to the Doraita, you have to be savata. According to Rabbanan, even if you're not savata, it's still a mitzvah. And according to the Gemara we saw now, that is Yisa Hashem Panav Elecha. So even if you don't have the Tziviti Birkati, Birkat Hashem, like according to the Chida, but you still have the Yisa Hashem Panav Elecha of the Gemara. Having said that, eating a kazait is Birkat Hamazon. Eating less than a kazait does not obligate Birkat Hamazon, but still obligates Netilat Yadayim and Birkat Hamotzi.
That's why the Moroccans have so many salads on Friday. So you eat a minimum amount of bread. So it's
very good. So that is also one of the reasons on Shabbat, and now we're going to talk about Shabbat. Even though kazait is enough for Birkat Hamazon, however, for Seudah, you need a kibetza. What's the difference between kazait and kibetza? In size. So if we're talking about grams, 27 grams, that's kazait. Double than that is kibetza, 54 grams. So whereas maybe half a slice would be enough, but a full slice would be enough for betza. For Sudat Shabbat, you must have kibetza. Otherwise, you're not yet your chovat Sudat Shabbat. You haven't fulfilled that. You haven't had the Suda. You need to eat kibetza. Now that you need to measure how much challah you have. Some people only have a drop of challah, and then you got all the dishes and the vegetables, and you get full up on other things. No. And that's why Moroccan, what do we have? We have bread, not just eating bread, challah. Yeah, challah and mayonnaise. You don't have challah, and you have your other dips that you're dipping in and you're enjoying it. And that is one of the mitzvot. One reason, one for Oneg Shabbat, one for Larbot B'Tavshilim. But another main reason is make sure you have enough bread. Because not enough just to have a kazait of bread, 27 grams. You need to have 54 grams of bread in order to be Yotzeh Sudat Shabbat. Yeah? Answer question. Any further questions? So we said Birkat Hamazon needs to be said aloud. Even if you don't hear, everyone else hears it, but you yourself have to hear the Birkat Hamazon. What if you stop in Birkat Hamazon? Stopping in the middle of Birkat Hamazon. Okay, so what happens if somebody needs to attend to a child? Yeah. You're in the middle of Birkat Hamazon, and now you need to change him or take him to be excused, whatever it is, if you need to attend him. So if you have a break.
Continue where you left off.
So it depends how long the break is. That is really the answer to that. Because if you've taken a long break and it's length of time that you could have said the whole Birkat Hamazon until the end, yeah, which could be a couple of minutes or some people maybe a couple of seconds, yeah. But if it's longer than that, then you need to go back to say the Birkat Hamazon. Because you've already Hesach Hadat and it's long. Then you need to go back and then do it.
Assuming it is within the 72 minutes. So
yes. So that's a good one. What happens if you're sitting and you're eating and let's say you're in a picnic, okay, you're in the park. So you're eating, you're going, you're coming back, you're eating back. So you have to make sure that the time lapse doesn't go past. 72 minutes is not so long time. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Somebody in Sudat Purim. He's drinking, he drinks, and then what? He fell asleep. Why is Gilad smiling? I don't know.
No,
This
I've seen it happening. It's
I've seen it happening. Happened to Sudat Shabbat. It says that Purim was there at the table. He fell asleep. He woke up after 2 hours. No, you can't nudge him. You can't wake him up. Nothing. Yeah, when a person is drunk and his sleep is deep, nothing can wake him up. Yeah. 2 hours later, he wakes up. All right. Now when he was drinking, when he fell asleep, everyone was full house. Everyone's eating and drinking. He wakes up. Everything's empty. Tables empty. They already cleaned up. They already cleaned the floor. All the guests are left. He's standing there. He wakes up. Where is everybody? He's like, everyone's gone. We left half an hour ago. You've been asleep for 2 hours. Oh, really? Okay. Wow. Okay, so I need to do Birkat Hamazon. He said, no, you don't need to do Birkat Hamazon. I was like, what do you mean? I have to do. I didn't do Birkat Hamazon. He said, it's already past 72 minutes. Half an hour ago, I finished. So don't do Birkat Hamazon then. So that's a person also, when you finish to eat, immediately do Birkat Hamazon. Afterwards, you want to stay down and chat, have a tea. Okay. Do Birkat Hamazon.
After the 2 hours, when he woke up, after the 2 hours, suppose he had something then and then.
Oh, so that's different. If he wants to be a big tzaddik, Chafetz Chaim, and he's one of the, then he can do Netilat Yadayim again. Do Birkat Hamazon, eat another hamotzi, eat another shiur kazait, and then do Birkat Hamazon and have chavana for what he didn't do or forgot.
Okay.
And that's why if somebody forgets or has 2 long laps and he wants to have in mind, then he should eat again and that's not the shiur hamotzi.
Isn't it up to 6 hours if he's missed the 72 minutes?
No, up to 6 hours. No, only if he feels full. If you're still full, if you had such a good meal that you're still full after 2 hours, then yeah. Only if you're still full from it.
And
the
72 minutes, when is it from? Is it
if you had Moroccan couscous also that Purim you'd be from?
When he finished what? When he finished the kazait of bread, or when he finished eating anything?
Oh, very good. So very good. No, so it's all mitzvah. It's the soda. So even if he ate afterwards, as long as you're still eating, that's another good. Okay.
Like if he's got nuts.
No, very good. If you're eating and you do hamotzi, as long as you're still eating, it's still part of the meal. So that means you could be eating fruit or eat vegetables, but you're still eating. The soda continues. You can be at the soda for 4 hours. It's not 72 minutes from when you make hamotzi. You made hamotzi, finished hamotzi. Then you bring out the fish. Then you bring out the meat. Then you bring out the thing. You bring out the dessert. Past already 3 hours, but you're still eating the whole time, or drinking. Even drinking is also enough. Drinking, then you can finish the soda after 4 hours.
Although Birkat Hamotzi doesn't cover shtiya, so why drinking is?
No, it covers everything. You don't do Birkat Hamazon and then B'Rei Nefashot. It includes everything. Birkat Hamazon is including everything.
No, but when I say mutzi, it doesn't cover fluid. So when I say mutzi.
Everything apart from wine. Apart from wine.
Except wine.
Wine. Only geffen.
Water as well?
Water is included. Just geffen and wine is not included.
In fact,
that's why we do kiddush beforehand. But if you're drinking wine in the middle of a soda, like for example, soda shlishit. Eating soda shlishit, you want to drink, you can drink cola, Sprite, whiskey, that's fine. If you have wine, you do borpia geffen. And in fact, the Khatam Sofer, the minhag, every soda shlishit, just to make a bit of a geffen, because soda doesn't have a geffen. It's a okay. Maybe we say one ala halacha. Which brachot during a soda is not covered in hamotzi because just Gilad brought it up. Hamotzi covers all food, which is connected to the soda.
Unless the fruit or dessert.
Fruit.
We're going to talk about fruit.
Dessert.
I'm going to talk about now fruits and dessert. So anything which is part of the soda is included in Birkat Hamotzi. For example, rice, vegetables, meat, anything which you eat with bread, and also salad, anything which also comes to join the food. When you have something which is not included in soda, okay, yeah, for example, a sweet, a candy, a nash,
cake.
Even so, cake is already different. Cake is already different, and mezuzah is different. But it's something which is not part of the food. Then you'd already need to make a bracha of sha'akol of if you're having chocolate, which is not part of the Suda, then you already make shakol on it.
Yeah, well, this
Fruit,
is a
fruit is also not going to be part of the Suda. You make bracha on fruit as well. Dessert, so if it's going to be shakol, it's not part of food then as well. Mezonot is the only different, and now we're going to try and explain this within the next 30 seconds. Mezonot is generally included in Hamotzi. So anything which is like cake or any other mezonot, donuts, sfingim, anything like that is going to be also called included in Hamotzi, apart from the following. Part of Babakistin, we need to have 3 conditions, and it's a rare, but 3 conditions is the 3 types of mezonot. What would you make mezonot on? Anything which is either baked with fruit juices or sugar or chocolate, which is any kind of cake, that's mezonot. That's number 1. That means the dough is 1 second. We're taking flour, but we don't just put flour and water to make bread. We put flour, water, and fruit juice and sugar and oil and that to make it sweet. That is mezonot. That's cakes. Second thing is anything which is crunchy. For example, crackers. Crackers is just bread and water. Flour and water, but it's sorry.
And sugar.
It's baked to a crisp. That it's crunchy and it's crumbly. So anything which is crumbly and crusty is mezonot. Okay, that's why Sfaradi we make mezonot on matzah all year round, because like a cracker. In fact, you should make a mezonot even on Pesach. That you should do that as a bracha. It's a mezonot. And the third thing is something which is a milui, which is filled. Filled with.
You mean like borekas and stuff like
exactly,
that?
like borekas, like rogalach, like
okay.
a wafer, like a biscuit which is has a filling in it. Anything which is filling is called part of bakbaki. Those 3 things you make mezonot on them. Now, those 3 things, if you have a shiur of arba kabetzim, for example, if you're having borekas, but you're having so much borekas, you're having arba kabetzim, 200 grams, 220 grams of them. That's a lot of borekas. You just pounded 12 borekasim. Yeah.
Wow.
Or like a whole cake. You just had the whole cake, the whole yeast cake, the whole thing. Then you already made mitchayev or Birkat Hamazon, because that's already shiur or Birkat Hamazon. But those are only things which are baked, not mezonot which is cooked. I'm not talking about pasta which is cooked mezonot or fried or anything which is fried. Only those things which are baked. Those 3 things you would not make mezonot in the middle of a meal, unless they had all 3 conditions, which means they were sweet and crunchy and had a filling. Now, the only thing comes to mind is something like either a wafer or baklava. Baklava is also sweet and it's crunchy and has a filling. Or like the biscuits which have a filling in it. So it's crunchy, crunchy and has a filling and it's sweet. Only those 3 things or anything which is similar to them, then you would make a Birkat mezonot in the middle of your meal. But anything else, you wouldn't make mezonot for it.
So
Okay,
if you had samosak, which is not sweet, it's soya
savory, yeah.
Yeah, savory, yeah.
Yeah, so you don't make mezonot. You don't make Birkat Hamazon. You don't make mezonot in the middle of the meal. If you're not having it in a hamotzi meal, then you make mezonot. If you made hamotzi, then you just eat it without making a mezonot.
Right. No, suppose you have a cake that's diabetic, no sugar.
Yeah. Well, it has eggs, it has fruit juice.
It has eggs. I don't know about the fruit juice because it's
so that would be
diabetic.
Okay.
It's diabetic.
So what's the question?
Mezonot, but it's not sweet.
You make mezonot. In the meal, you would not make mezonot because it's not crunchy. It doesn't have a feeling.
And if you had it stam?
Make mezonot.
But it's not sweet.
Yeah, but it's mixed in with it. It has oil in it, it has eggs in it.
Yeah, it has oil.
That's enough. Yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
That's enough to make it mezonot.
Yeah.
Okay. I thank you all for joining me. I thank you for listening. Wish you all Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
And welcome for another edition of our Shia next week.
It's next week. Next week we're doing the Shloshim, yeah?
Okay. So good to remind me. So send me please the name and details beforehand. And what time you want to change the time?
Well, I need to check the date with Michelle exactly because it's going to be 30 days from the Kvura. So whatever the day is, I'll check with Michelle exactly.
Are you sure, Yaakov?
What do you mean?
Yeah. You're talking the Shoshim of
Yeah, of your auntie.
my auntie? I think it's
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
You
Like,
sure?
no, this week, I think, no. We'll check it, Bezat Hashem. Okay.
I'll check. I thought it was
Okay.
next week, next Shabbat, but okay, I'll check.
Okay.
Thank
No,
you.
no,
Thank you very much. I wish you a good night. Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Okay.
Shabbat
Shabbat
shalom to
shalom.
everybody.